Welcome. My name is Sarah Faith and you are watching Bayitzahav Ministries End Times News Watch, brought to you every 3 weeks, giving you an update of events concerning the end times. The Mail Online reported Kim Jong-un has boasted of having a nuclear button on his desk as he warned the US that the entire country is within range of his weapons. The North Korean dictator also announced plans to start mass-producing nuclear warheads as he delivered a televised New Year's Day speech. The tyrant warned America that it can never start a war against me and our country, and insisted his nukes are now a reality, not a threat. We must mass-produce nuclear warheads and ballistic missiles and speed up their deployment, said Kim in his annual address to the nation. We should always keep readiness to take immediate nuclear counterattacks against the enemy's scheme for a nuclear war. The US should know that the button for nuclear weapons is on the table. This is reality, not a threat. The entire area of the US mainland is within our nuclear strike range. The United States can never start a war against me and our country. However, Kim also called for improved relations with the South, an idea mentioned in speeches more often than it is met. He said the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics would be a good opportunity to showcase the status of the Korean nation. He said the North Korea and South could meet urgently to discuss the North sending a delegation. The Winter Olympic Games that will be held soon in the South will be a good opportunity to display the status of the Korean nation, and we sincerely wish that the event would be held with good results, he said. The New Year's address is an annual event in the North and is watched closely for indications of the direction and priorities Kim may adopt in the year ahead, and this was said in the day of the Lord. Moving on. US closer to nuclear war than ever with North Korea, a US military officer warns. A former top US military officer has revealed why he believes America is on the brink of war with North Korea and there's no diplomatic solution in sight. The United States is now closer than it has ever been to a nuclear war with North Korea, a former top US military officer has warned, saying he saw little prospect of a diplomatic solution. Mike Mullen, a former chairman of the US Joint Chiefs of Staff, attributed the rising danger to Donald Trump's incredibly disruptive presidency. And in my view, an incredibly dangerous climate exists out there in that uncertainty with how this will all end up, he said on ABC's This Week. One in particular that is top of the list is North Korea. We're actually closer, in my view, to a nuclear war with North Korea and in that region than we have ever been, he said, adding, I don't see the opportunities to solve this diplomatically at this particular point. Mullen, who served as a top US military advisor to both Presidents George W. Bush and Barack Obama, questioned whether Trump can be constrained by US Defense Secretary Jim Mattis, National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster, or White House Chief of Staff John Kelly. Will he follow through on his rhetoric, or will he actually be able to get to a situation where it could be solved peaceably, Mullen asked. I'm just more inclined to see over time that the rhetoric seems to be where the president is, and that will limit the constraining ability that both Jim Mattis and H.R. McMaster and John Kelly have, he said. Trump warned in a speech to the UN General Assembly in September that the United States will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea if forced to defend itself or its allies. In August, he vowed to unleash fire and fury on North Korea if it continued to threaten the United States or its allies. Pyongyang conducted its 6th nuclear test on September the 3rd, and despite escalating sanctions on November the 28th, its test launched an intercontinental missile capable of striking the United States. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, who warned Sunday of a sharp increase in the risk of preemptive attack if North Korea conducts any more tests, said Trump had decided early on to deny North Korea the capability to strike the United States with a nuclear-tipped missile. 2018 will be a year of opportunity and extreme danger, Graham said on CBS Face the Nation. Now, the Iranians are watching the way he engages with North Korea and vice versa, so we've got a chance here to deliver some fatal blows to really bad actors in 2018. But if we blink, God help us all. And this was said in the day of the Lord. Moving on. North Korea's ultimatum to us. North Korea said on Saturday that it would never give up its nuclear weapons as long as the United States and its allies continue their blackmail and war drills at its doorsteps. The North's official Korean Central News Agency took the often repeated stance as it reviewed the country's major nuclear weapons and missile tests this year. North Korea conducted its most powerful nuclear test to date in September and launched 3 intercontinental ballistic missiles into the sea in July and November, indicating that it is closer than ever to gaining a nuclear arsenal that could viably target the mainland United States. The aggressive tests have led to more international sanctions and pressures on North Korea amid concerns that the window for stopping or rolling back its nuclear program is closing rapidly. The US and South Korea have maintained that they won't negotiate with the North unless it is willing to discuss curbing its nuclear weapons and missile program. In its reports Saturday, KCNA said North Korea had taken steps for bolstering the capabilities for self-defense and preemptive attacks with nuclear force in the face of a continued nuclear threat and blackmail war drills by the United States and its vassal forces. The North often lashes out at the annual military drills between the United States and South Korea, which the Allies describe as defensive in nature. KCNA accused President Donald Trump of employing unprecedented hostile policies against North Korea and threatening it with talks of preemptive strikes, and this is said in the day of the Lord. Moving on. Tehran, Iran. Clashes overnight between protesters and security forces in Iran killed 9 people, state television reported Tuesday, including some rioters who tried to storm a police station to steal weapons. The demonstrations, the largest to strike Iran since its disputed 2009 presidential election, has seen 6 days of unrest across the country and a death toll of at least 20. Offering his first comments since they began, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei on Tuesday accused the enemies of Iran of meddling in the country's affairs. The protests began Thursday in Mashhad over Iran's weak economy and a jump in food prices and have expanded to several cities, with some protesters chanting against the government and the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Hundreds of people have been arrested and a prominent judge on Tuesday warned that some could face death penalty trials. State TV reported that 6 people were killed during an attack on a police station in the town of Qadavijan. It reported that clashes were sparked by rioters who tried to steal guns from the police station. State TV also said an 11-year-old boy and a 20-year-old man were killed in the town of Khamenei, while a member of Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard was killed in the town of Najafabad. It says all 3 were shot by hunting rifles, which are common in the Iranian countryside. The towns are all in Iran's central Isfahan province, some 350 kilometers, equivalent to 250 miles south of Tehran. It wasn't immediately clear if the Revolutionary Guard member was the same fatality reported last Monday night by Iran's semi-official Mehr news agency. Mehr has said an assailant using a hunting rifle killed a policeman and wounded 3 others in Najafabad. Monday marked the first night to see a fatality among Iran's security forces. President Hassan Rouhani has acknowledged the public's anger over the Islamic Republic's flagging economy, though he and others warned that the government wouldn't hesitate to crack down on those it considers lawbreakers. All the protest rallies so far haven't received prior permission from the Interior Ministry, making them illegal under Iranian law. In comments posted to his official website, Khamenei appeared to blame foreign nations for at least exacerbating the unrest gripping Iran. In the recent days, enemies of Iran utilized various means, including money, weapon, politics, and intelligence apparatus, to create problems for the Islamic system, he said. Please visit Bayitzahav Ministries YouTube channel for more information, or visit www.bayitzahav.co.uk. But whatever you do, trust in the Lord and seek after holiness and righteousness, and pray for the peace of the world according to God's will. Be blessed in the Lord and rejoice in Him always. Amen.